Black people love Sarah Paulson. And I don't even know what she's doing because she's not doing the Iggy Azalea route. She's not doing the Ariana Grande route. She's not making black content, but black folks with Sarah Paulson hard. I don't know. Maybe it's because she's so authentically herself. But black just love Sarah Paulson. I don't know what's going on, but we do. She's great. Hello, my name is Bob the Drag Queen, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 7 queer moments that are important to me.
Now that you're in charge, my life's work is fulfilled. I've made many painful mistakes in my life. I want my death to have some meaning.
Frances Conroy in this scene is so iconic. So she's basically doing a take on, what's her name from Vogue? Grace Coddington. So she's essentially based on Grace Coddington, who works over at Vogue, and she has been found guilty of betraying her coven. She's going out with so much style, so much grace, so much fashion. And as she's being burned at the stake by the council, and they ask her, do you have any final words you want to say? She could have chosen to say anything. She could have chosen to say, F you, b****. She could have said, I'll be back. She could have said no words at all, but instead she screamed, Balenciaga! Which was just it was the last thing you would have expected her to scream. But a fashion queen has her brand and she's obsessed with Balenciaga, that's what she wants to be known for. I think this is Frances Conroy's best performance, and Frances Conroy has a lot of great performances. Very underrated actor. She's absolutely brilliant. Like, this show is so good. Kathy Bates in this show, portraying this vile, racist woman from the past, but then getting to see her get her comeuppance when she's tortured. It had a lot of crowd surf. Like it gave people what they wanted in so many ways, and took so much from us that we wanted to keep going or see continue. But it pulled back just enough, and it gave just enough. This is a great show. American Horror Story Coven, the queerest season of American Horror Story of all time. Even more queer than the one with Lady Gaga. Even more queer than the one with Kim Kardashian. No season, unless they do, American Horror Story, but it's not going to get more queer than this.
Well, I'm here making enough chicken salad for an army of one, because I'm in lockdown.
It was really fun to see Leslie Jordan get his flowers and his dues before his untimely passing. Because a lot of us who are in the queer cabaret space, we knew about Leslie Jordan. First of all, if you watch Will and Grace in the early 2000s, you definitely knew who he was. He was Karen Walker's arch nemesis.
Well. Karen Walker in the flesh.
Beverly Leslie. And then, his show My Life on the Pink Carpet, which he did in New York City for a year. So watching him have his moment on TikTok was just so charming. So we really got lucky with that one. Let's watch some.
Well, what are y'all doing? This is awful. It's still March.
I think what it was about Leslie Jordan on TikTok was getting to see an old queer person. We get to see, what do we think will be when we're his age? Do we get to aspire? We get to dream to see something, and he's happy, and he's funny, and he's a little catty and a little bitchy and kind of confused. So we see a little bit of our parents in there too. He doesn't really know how to use TikTok. He's complaining. I love people who complain. If you don't ever complain, I don't think I can really be your friend.
What? My mother holding up the steps asking me who I'm talking to. I'm talking to my friends.
When he said, what are we doing? It's only March. Like, we all felt that. During lockdown, a lot of celebrities are trying to impress upon you that they're just like you. But in their attempts, you realize how unlike you they really are. But somehow, Leslie Jordan was able to really effectively communicate that we really are the same. Oh, she looks so good. She looks so good. Oh my God. And I think what it was about this promo, so if you look at 1, 2, and 3, it's very much giving like on a sound stage, like literally the walls are painted black, everyone's just walking around. But somewhere around 4, they introduced a set, they introduced this remarkable theme, these contestants who are just characters in and of themselves. I think this might have been the most excited I was for a cast announcement outside of my own season, because that's because I was I was on it. It was just me. And at the very end, when RuPaul has like the lightning shooting out of her hands, and it wasn't like too over the top. It wasn't crazy because they've had bigger ones since then for sure. But this was the first one that had like, for me, all this production value, and it really showed like, wow, this show is picking up. I truly believe that Drag Race was keeping the lights on over at Logo for a long time. I don't even know if the lights are still on at Logo. Is there even still a Logo? I don't know. In the beginning years of Drag Race, all the fans, we were like, oh, this is gonna be the last season. Like, there's no way they're gonna let this show stay on the air. There's no way. And then I remember after season 1 aired, I went to a club called the Ritz to go see Nina Flowers. And like, I had never seen that many people packed into that bar, like ever. I thought to myself, I'm gonna go down, there's gonna be like 12 of us there. I'm gonna give Nina her money. I couldn't even get into the bar, right? So there are a lot of us who we knew in our little niche circles how big Drag Race, how remarkable Drag Race was, but something about this season and the way it caught on, this season was massive. The production value itself in terms of the storytelling, not just like, ooh, more budget, but like, it seemed like the storytellers and the story producers stepped their game up. This is not the first season with an Emmy. Actually, my season was. I'm not saying it's because of me, but we can't prove it wasn't.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men.
First of all, did you all know that Paul Schaefer wrote this song? Yeah, the bald-headed guy from Letterman who played, that's him. He wrote this song. I thought he was gay for so long, and then I met him recently, and he was like, this is my wife. I said, oh. Well, you learn something new every day. So I did get a chance to perform this song on stage live with Paul Schaefer here in Los Angeles, California earlier this year. That being said, let's get into the video. The singing is so good, it's so iconic. First of all, the Weather Girls were formerly 2 Tons of Fun. They used to tour with Sylvester, you know, you make me feel. But then they decided to take the song on, and they changed their names from 2 Tons of Fun to the Weather Girl, which is kind of funny that they changed their entire branding for one song. If you're ever in a gay bar and you hear this song, look around. Every queer over 35 years old will do the clap. Every queer will do the clap. They'll go. You know where it is, you know what I mean? It's raining man, hallelujah, but tall. Oh, God bless Mother Nature. That's how you know someone's over 35 years old. And also the knee pain. And all you guys don't know, so some of the controversy behind Martha Wash. Martha Wash, who's the higher voice, the soprano from the Weather Girls, she also famously sang, "Everybody dance now." But they tried to replace her in the video with a skinny woman because Martha Wash is a big girl. She's a fat woman. She's a big girl, right? But I guess they thought it wouldn't sell as well if her big body was doing it. So they replaced her in the video, and I think you can see her on Arsenio Hall actually singing it. And she sounds obviously just like the recording. She has an amazing voice. And she sets the record clear, and then Arsenio Hall says, take it away, and then she just goes, "Everybody dance now." This was so far ahead of its time. It celebrated these big, beautiful, fat black women for their bodies. It told them they could be sexual. It told them they could talk about sex and men and lust and love. To me, I just love how the song makes me feel, how it allows me to feel sexy, and it makes me feel good about my desires to be sexually attracted toward men. Like, this song gives me a lot of permission to be a queer person.
On cycle 11, I didn't place where I know that I should have placed. Now, after everything that I've been through in the past 3 years, I'm
These
even
feather
more
earrings
confident.
are so
And
of a
I've
certain
had
time.
a lot more experience under my belt, and this time around, I am going to.
I love Isis. I mean, full disclosure, Isis is we know each other. We're not super close, but we know each other. And I remember getting to see her competing on my television screen and just being blown away. Now, there were a few trans women competing on TV shows back then, very few. I would say Laverne Cox, I Want to Work with Diddy. We're talking about Diddy. We don't talk about Bruno. And then there was Laomi competing on America's Best Dance Crew, ABC, where she was competing with the group Vogue Evolution. And then you have Isis competing on America's Next Top Model. It was amazing to see her compete on the show. And she did get a lot of microaggressions and macroaggressions on the show as well. And getting to see a trans person navigate through that, and everyone can see what it's like, how it affects her, and then you can also get a chance to reflect how you treated queer people and trans people in your life. Yeah, this was, I gotta say, Isis handled this, first of all, way better than I could have on my best day. I could have never, ever handled this as well as Isis did. These girls, they're not girls, they are young women. And I did not want to give them I want to, they were kids, they're not kids, they're adults. They're grown adults, very young adults, but still adults. Making fun of her body hair, her sweating, her breast. She says, I was not born female, and then they take it back and go, she says she used to be a man. Now we're rewriting history. It seems like the epitome of what you think when you think about Mean Girls teasing someone. And when America's Next Top Model presented this, I don't know what the angle was. Was it like people will agree with Isis or people will agree with the other models? Like, I don't know what their angle was, to be honest. I know that watching it from the outside, I was like, my God, this is horrible.
You walk around like that in a small town, you was shot. It's not so much a closed-minded view, it's just more traditional.
It's saying stuff like, if you walk around like that, what do you mean like that? In my name, you get shot. She is justifying the harm, if not the murder, of someone for walking around. She didn't say for talking crazy. She said walking around. You walk around, and therefore she gets to justify your harm, if not your murder. That's crazy. Nowadays, it's actually worse than it was then because they have more information, they have more knowledge, and they're still choosing to be hateful. If your first time you're hateful, it is bad. But after you know better and you do worse, it's even worse. In my opinion, which is what this video is about. My opinions. My new drag name, My Opinion.
I've been a man, and I've been a man who emulates.
I've been a man.
I never had that service once a month.
I am obsessed with how like queer people used to talk so bluntly. I'm a man, or you know what I mean. If you at the very beginning of the film, he goes, "You want me to talk about who I am?" And all of that. I love these New York City accents. Pepper LaBeija is such an icon. The way she walked into the room, you know, give her what she wants. Give her what she wants. It's Pepper LaBeija. She rules with a soft hand, you know what I mean? A very firm hand, but soft hand. And I think that this film really was able to, first of all, when I say groundbreaking, I don't think groundbreaking is a strong enough word to, it doesn't articulate how I feel about how big this film was. It humanized queer people. It humanized trans people. They were talking about transsexualism operations, also known as a vaginoplasty. You know, one of the characters famously has a vaginoplasty in the show, and she goes, I've had a transsexualism operation.
I've had a transsexualism operation. That means I've had a sex change.
But it also shows that people in this scene, they do take themselves quite seriously, but not too serious. They laugh with each other, they joke with each other. It shows how them being connected allows them to have these jokes within themselves, but also they see each other's humanity, you know what I mean? But it also talks about assimilation, right? A lot of ballroom culture is pretending to assimilate, or the idea that you can assimilate, you know, realness. Can you pass in the daytime? Can you walk into the sunlight and not be clocked? When you walk out there, will people think you're a woman? Will they think you're a man? Will you look like you're in the military? Will you pass as straight? And this group of people who don't have a lot of money, but they pretend that they do. You know what I mean? And everyone in the room knows that we're all pretending, you know? When you say opulence, I don't think anyone here is opulent in the forms of having financial gains, but they use the resources they have to portray opulence because of what it means to them. They're reflecting what they see on TV, what they see on Dynasty, what they see on Days of Our Lives. They see these rich white women having these lives, and they're like, well, I deserve to have that life as well.
It's like crossing into the Looking Glass in Wonderland. You go in there and you feel 100% right.
I don't know about when we would have seen trans women talking about their surgeries and their bodies and their experiences. Obviously, one of the women does not even get to see the end of the film because she was murdered while it was still, before it was ever released. You know what I mean? And they talk about that in the film as well.
You know, she was like my right hand as far as I'm concerned. I miss her. Every time I go anywhere, I miss her.
It touches on what it's like to date as a queer person, as a trans woman, in the 80s. And a lot of those conversations are still being had today, and it's 2025. It's roughly 40 years later, and we're still having the same conversations.
Oh, Miss Celie, that was just the salt and sugar. Me being jealous of you and Albert. I think you beautiful.
Oh! Let me tell you right now. I'm going to go ahead and say it. The Color Purple is the most important queer piece of media that has ever hit the mainstream. I'm going to go ahead and put all 10 toes down. Okay, full disclosure, I have 11 toes. All 11 toes down and say that The Color Purple is so far ahead of its time. Alice Walker, Whoopi Goldberg, Danny Glover, Oprah Winfrey, and the list goes on and on and on. When you see Miss Celie standing on the steps, paralyzed with anticipation, to finally gaze upon the legend that is Shug Avery. This woman who has been raped, she has been beaten, she has been maligned, she has been told she is ugly, and she's gonna see the most beautiful woman in town, the one that everyone raves about. And she's just waiting to see her because she wants to know how beautiful she really is. She wants to see it for herself. And then she walks up the stairs, and Miss Celie has mud on her face because the kids have been just covering her in mud and stuff. The first thing Shug Avery said to her is, "You show is
ugly."
It speaks so much, this woman that she was looking forward to seeing validated all of her negative thoughts about herself that everyone else was saying is true. But then she comes around and they fall in love. But because of who they are, where they are, and when they are, they can't actually celebrate their love together. Because Celie is married, Shug Avery's gonna go pursue her career. She comes back as a married woman as well, but they still have their intimacy together. They do it behind closed doors. And then Shug Avery comes back and she actually helps Celie see that she is beautiful.
He don't never ask me how I feel, just never ask me nothing about myself. Just climb on top of me, do his business.
And pause it there. And there you can see where Shug Avery sees the humanity in Miss Celie, or finally sees her pain for what it is. Because in their mind, Miss Celie is just this like goofy, ugly girl who no one respects. But in this moment, Miss Celie is actually using her voice to talk about how she actually feels. Let's just keep watching. And she's kissing all around her face. This is honestly masterful seduction. Shug Avery is a stone cold snake, honey. That's a light skin move. Grab the chin. Very light skin behavior. And then she lets her guard down for like the first time. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Look how pretty she looks. She's so gorgeous in this film. And it's so crazy because we were like thought to believe that she was ugly. They talked about it in other films and stuff. Literally like so beautiful. She just looks so stunning. I have a giant tattoo of Whoopi Goldberg on my arm. I'm like obsessed with her. But she just looks so beautiful in this film. And this is when Miss Celie's trying to like smile, but she covers her smile the entire movie. She never wants to be seen smiling because she thinks she's ugly, because she thinks she's hideous. But then the most beautiful woman in the world told her that she was beautiful. And that validation has to mean something. The crazy thing is, I look like Whoopi Goldberg. Like, I literally look like Whoopi Goldberg. I am dark skinned, I have no eyebrows. Like, I look like Whoopi Goldberg. I dressed up like Whoopi Goldberg for Halloween one year, and all I did was put on the wig and the glasses, and I look just like her. So imagine how it must feel to you to be watching this and then having everyone in the media talking about how ugly she is. So getting to see her be beautiful is amazing. And then she gets to have her first moment of romance. It's the first time that she has romance in her life ever. And it's queer, and it's black, and it's in Georgia. And it's immediately post-slavery. And it's the most perfect film of all time. There will never be another Color Purple. There will never be another Color Purple. And it's just a beautiful film. It is the perfect movie. It really is. Listen, thank you for watching my top 7 queer moments in media. You know what? What are yours? I want to know yours. Since you listen to me blab on and cry and laugh and giggle and kiki, I want to know yours. I'm going to read every single comment. Amanda, type yours down. Some girl named Amanda just went, excuse me?